Hi, I'm Marilyn Monaghan, and this is day 8 of this great adventure where we're learning a little bit about building leaders internationally. And this has actually been a lot of fun the last decade or so. But tonight I was thinking about there's a few keys to working remotely like this, like in a different continent, and building something overseas. We talked a little bit about culture. That is a key. But what I want to talk about tonight is the distance factor. And there's this big gap between where I am and where my team is in Haiti. So if you're working in a different country or living in a different country from where your mission is, where you're building something or you're growing your leadership, there's some wonderful things that you can do to close the gap, the distance gap. And it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. When I lived overseas in Europe years ago, that was a time where it would have been, if you were overseas, you were just overseas, because we communicated with letters. And if you occasionally had a phone call, when we lived in Germany and family was in the States, it cost $25 for like 5 minutes. So we live in a different world now where the distance is not a big deal, as long as you go to your international country frequently. So that's part of the key, is that you do need to be on site in your overseas location frequently. Now, that can mean a lot of different things. It depends a whole lot on your team. And for me personally, I had an easy segue into doing this because I had family living down there, and so I was going frequently to see my grandkids, and I started to get to know people. And when I ended up becoming the manager overseas, so I was in charge of the stuff back home and distributing product all over the United States while my family was down in Haiti. That was an easy way I could connect easily with family. And I could go back and forth. It was simple because I just got a plane ride. It was not a complicated matter. But if you were trying to build an organization overseas and you didn't know anybody over there, well, you better move there. And just get acquainted and find your people, find the people you need to work with. But once you have your people, it's not as complicated these days. So I have three amigos. That's what I call them, the three amigos. And they have different functions down in Haiti. And so between the three of them, one heading up the education kind of section, another the logistics stuff, and then we got this guy who can fix everything and solve problems that have to do with mechanical things and that kind of stuff, and a go-runner, somebody who goes out and takes care of those things. So I communicate with them regularly. We have WhatsApp nowadays where you can get on the phone and text, just like if you're in the States. You can communicate with group calls, all kinds of ways. And of course, there's Zoom meetings you can have, which depends upon your internet connection. So wherever you are, you have to kind of evaluate what you can and can't use. But the key is that you have to have some people in your international country who you are connected with, who you can communicate with, who you can, while they're the ones you're mentoring, you're working mainly with them. As long as you have that strong connection with those main people, then you can accomplish the task remotely nowadays. And so that's my tip for today, that it's not as hard as it looks, but you do need to actually go see your people. And they are always so appreciative when I come down, and I'm always amazed. It's like they're just so happy to see me. Everybody, even the little kids, the parents, anybody who sees me, they're happy to see me. And I think it's just because it's somebody who continues to show up, and that gives them hope. And so that's my tip for the day, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.